Designers possess a unique perspective, viewing things through aesthetic lenses and giving birth to countless creative works. Conversely, tech professionals excel in logical thinking, leading to more structured creations. Are there ways to blend two kinds of mind together? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next session. We are very delighted to have Mr. Clement Tien, Chairman of Design Technology Council, Hong Kong Designers Association. Mr. Ron Leung, Creative Director, L.I.M Design Work Limited. Ms. Amy Yip, Co-founder of CaaS, co-founder of Second Stage. Mr. Soong-nien Robert, Senior Manager Digital Experience and Accessibility HSBC. They will share with us on the topic of Power Up Sublimation of Design, Blending Beautiful Minds and Tech Minds. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll pass the floor to Clement. Over to you now.
Thank you. So today we're very excited to welcome prolific panelists, Roy, Amy, and Robert, for they will be sharing unique perspectives on new opportunities in design and technology. And I'm Clement, your moderator today, from Hong Kong Designers Association and CEO of Aracle, a property livability platform. Apple, Airbnb, and Pinterest are transformative companies that put design at the core. With the present democratization of AI and Web3, we'd like to explore how technology is evolving with design. So please share with us why you do what you do. Ron?
Okay, before answering why, I would like to spend some time to explain what I've been doing. Let's see. All right. Basically, my business is to help my clients on the product development and new product design, and also it would include product branding and the market positioning and so on. You can see the product I've been doing like this. As you can see, it encompasses quite many. All right, it's a bit slow. Sorry. Different type of products. So I'm a bit. I think when people ask me what am I doing, I would think it's a bit complicated for me to explain. Yeah. So. You can see this is all included different variety of products. And I enjoy what I'm doing as a design is really a blend of art and logic. So we use our observations, our analytic sense and creativity to help our customers and the stakeholders to find out the problem and resolve this problem with in an innovative way. Yes, maybe I'll take it faster. So electronics and everything, so on. Yeah. So I really enjoy what I've been doing.
Okay, thank you. So hello everyone, this is Amy. When we are in Cyberport, so I think I don't have to argue with the audience saying why innovation is important. So if for hero businesses that are successful in the past, with the new technology coming up, they either have to disrupt themselves or to be disrupted. You know, we heard it many years. So if a business is going downhill, what do we do? Say, imagine if we're reviewing, if we are in a travel business. Before we go traveling, we will imagine, a beautiful picture like this. It will be a very calming, chilling vacation. But in reality, when we go through the Shenzhen border, we could be waiting in line for buses, actually with the luggages. There are actually a lot of challenges. The experience is very daunting. So what I do is I actually help businesses to review the customer journey and identify the user experience and what are some potentials could help business to grow. Some of the things that I do includes, reviewing digital products experience, how to improve, service design, end-to-end experience, and also experience strategy. Robert.
Thank you, Amy. So I'm Robert from HSBC Group Digital Experience and Accessibility Team. So actually, do you know that a blind person can actually use an iPhone just like you and me? Well, the only reason they can use it is because if your app actually going to write it in the right way, following the web content accessibility guideline, then everybody can use it. And actually, on your phone, you can actually turn on the accessibility feature and you can try it. You may say, why does it matter with me? Because I don't see myself as a disabled, right? In the simplest term, digital accessibility means that doing digital things for everybody to use, including people with disability and neurodiversity. But I guarantee you that every one of us will experience some sort of disability through our lifetime, because they are like situational and temporary disability. For example, if you hurt your arm, you can't use your mouse. So what do? If you have a ear infection, you can't listen. Or situational, you're in a noisy train, you want to watch a video. If the video got subtitled, then you can watch it. So my team in the bank is actually the custodian of digital accessibility to ensure all our digital product can be used by all users.
Wow, amazing. So we got diverse experience here, from product to UX to accessibility. So from your sector perspectives, what are the opportunities with current technological advancements in like art tech, AI, and Web3? Ron?
As Robert has pointed out, the apps for disabled. For me, I remember that's a project I carry out as many of my works related to technological related products. So one of them, for example, I had helped a research team from the Hong Kong universities to design a navigation system for the visually impaired people. It's like a kind of GPS systems for the blind people to use in indoor facilities like shopping malls and also some public facility like a bus stop, MTR, and so. So they can receive necessary information for pathfinding, for directions, and the content or the facility inside the shopping mall through the audio systems they can receive. So this kind of things, we spend a lot of time in research and also field studies to work together with the representative from the blind communities to try to understand really their day-to-day habits and to find out what they really need to support their daily living and make it more convenient. So with all this process, we design the best and most reasonable solutions to deliver the product to them. So I think this is we deployed a lot of design thinking application in this kind of project. So, yeah.
Thank you. So what makes an app successful? So today I'm sure we have a lot of gamers here. Have you seen any ad that looks very good and then you click and download the game? When you open it up, it's not something that you think it is. You play it, you may open it and play it once. It's not me. If I were a social gamer, if I open a strategy game, it's a turn-off. I would immediately delete it. Right? So when we're designing apps experiences, especially for entertainment, we need to understand who our users are. Right? Maybe if they like playing social games, and then you are directing them to play something slightly different with the social element, that may work. But if you are inventing something new, say for example, years ago when I was working on a research, we are translating a console game type of games into mobiles. And for each gameplay, it could take up to 30 minutes. When you're translating to mobile, how do you really design the gameplay, the story, the map, and the interactions to make on the mobile media works? So moving forward, when we're designing digital entertainments, the previous channels also talk about Gen AI with all this new technology. We really need to understand our audience behavior and their values in order to design games, that meet their needs, right? And also as entertainments. So actually what I do is applying design thinking to find the sweet spots to meet the user's need, business, technology, and operations to help apps and technologies, businesses to gain user retentions.
All right. If you look at this, the item on screen, right, is a red-green light system in a toilet. It's great, right? You can immediately tell, which store is available, which store is not. But can you imagine 9% of the population in the world won't be able to use it? Because 9% of the population actually have like red-green color blindness. So they can't figure out like which one is which. That's why, it's very important to consider all forms of disability and then also to meet the guideline. I'll give you one example how we did in the bank. So in the past, as a bank, we have a lot of like e-learning because we have a lot of mandatory training. So in order to make it fun, we have a lot of like interaction, a lot of like mouse over, pops up something, and then so that it make it more engaging. However, it turns out relying on the mouse, that means a lot of our staff that cannot use mouse. For example, mobile disability, and also that staff rely on a screen reader. They won't be able to access it, and they won't be able to complete the e-training. So in return, we bring back to the drawing board, and we now redesign our global mandatory training to do video-based, and then also add with multiple language subtitle, also supplement with a transcript, added with a lot of like accessibility setting. For example, like stop autoplay, so that we make sure that all the training can be used by all our staff. So that's the kind of thinking that we put into redesigning our e-learning content.
Wow, thanks for sharing. So design thinking can really be integrated with technology in every project. So following up with the new advancements in technology, how does it change the landscape in your work?
I think we are now at a break point triggered by technologies. That has been a very rapid development of technology in different sectors over the last few years or even the last decades. The technologies like AI, like robotics, nanotech, biochem, or even now we're talking about the metaverse. All these new tech outcomes can provide new tools or many possibilities for us to resolve problems in a new way. Be it a conventional problem or a new ones, this is a lot of possibilities and solutions we can offer to resolve this problem. And the other is these technologies can also provide tools for us to enhance our day-to-day working routines and to help us to do things faster, cheaper, and also more efficient. And yes, this is the impact or caused by new technology to our business.
Many of my projects is about digital transformation, helping different companies to explore how we can use technology to help them to grow their business. So, of course, Web3, AI, how do we really apply it in our own industry and actually help it to thrive, is some of the work that I do. I think say, for example, in Web3, typical, probably many of the audience will think about crypto, coins, NFT. Yes, that's true. But recently, imagine, Starbucks, when they are launching their own platform, they're actually applying it for customer loyalty, building their brands, building their retentions, right? A lot of audiences, a lot of industries are also talking about that. How can we actually build IP and the loyalty and leverage the love of the audience of certain animations, characters, and continue to grow, the user retentions. One thing I recently looked at a lot more is about AI startups. One of the VCs focus on generative AI that I talked to from Silicon Valley last week. We spent time talking about how they invest in companies. They were making a differentiations between whether a startup is using AI features in their business or they are an AI-first companies. For AI-first companies, it's important to look at how we actually build the data, build a moat, the focus whether on the technology mode or the user experience mode to use the data so that when new technologies coming up, or ChatGPT 5, 6, 7 coming up, then actually the business model will not be easily disrupted and the startup will continue to grow. So these are some of the things that I'm looking at right now.
Well, in terms of AI, I think that's a very important tool to help people with disability to become independent. So actually 2 features already in your iPhone that actually helps a lot of the user. The first one is actually for the iPhone with LiDAR camera. You can use it to detect the doorway. And iPhone can actually read out the doorway, and if there's any text or description, it will actually guide you how to open the door. And the second feature is actually adding live caption on the video call so that people can actually have live caption to understand it. However, in terms of our industry, ChatGPT can be a very useful tool. It can be used in 2 ways. First is to help to simplify some of the very complicated terms and conditions and summarize it into key terms so that maybe staff with dyslexia can understand it easier. And in return, for dyslexia or some slow learner, if you are truly inclusive hire, you want to help them. So they can actually talk like a simple line, and then the bot can come back with a fully written email that can help them to do their job. So I do think AI is a very powerful tool to help people to become independent and actually doing better in their job.
Thank you. So this pushes us into the future. I'm sure the audience and we all here are futurists. So it'd be interesting to ask you, being futurists, what would you imagine the world to be like for the next generation?
Yeah. I think the extensive deployment of AI will certainly bring a tremendous change to our daily life in good ways and bad ways. It would certainly be a tendency that we have to face no matter we like it or not. And so we have to have this awareness to cope with the change. I think we should have this awareness first. The other thing is, I think we are now being severely challenged by environmental issues, and like pollutions, like global warming and so on, which is generate even more issues for us to tackle, like the carbon emission issues, and the nuclear threats, and also like clean and energy, something like that. There are a lot of things that we have to handle, or we may leverage technology for us to take care of that. But I think we have to really face this problem as a challenge first. And, but at this moment, I think we still have some room or some distance to go. But as long as mankind have gained the collective consensus about this is really the clear and pleasant threat to mankind, then when we all get this consensus, I think by the collaborations of scientists and authorities, we'll have a very fast pace to resolve this problem, or at least alleviate these situations by leveraging technology. But personally, I am more optimistic to the scientific side more than the political side, unfortunately. Yeah.
Thank you. Adding on to sustainability, last week I was just with my friends in the sustainability community. We were exploring and brainstorming how technology could actually help. Some of the things that we discussed is how gamification could help achieving that. because it's actually moving forward, it's about the younger generations. We're all attracted to playing games. How can we actually leverage gamifications for behavioral change? Another angle I would like to see the future is sci-fi movies. I would encourage everyone to go and look at different sci-fi movies. Many of the technologists, robotics or AI friends that I have, we actually, especially when I was in college, we are doing research based on Wi-Fi scenes that we see. The movie, oh, that was cool. I wish we want to do that. Okay, the coders, the engineers, let's come together and let's recreate that UI, using that sensors or whatever, like doing the remote, communications, metaverse, and all that is how it evolves. So if you're asking me where the future is going to be, go to sci-fi movies, make sci-fi movies. You might be helping, to make the future. But adding on, I'm using the Avatar as a sci-fi movie as picture. But if you look at those sci-fi movies, one of the things that really intrigued me is the embedded technology that we're going forward, how we actually use it in human behaviors, in human life. Some of the sci-fi movies, Star Trek, one of the movies that I really like, maybe I dated myself. One of the episodes that I still remember that I saw as a kid is they went to a foreign alien country, planet. What they were seeing is they were living the life like in the ancient world. But they have all these high-tech technology using just a hand, and I can send you the chi and I can heal. Back then, it was like really sci-fi movie. But today, we know that with the embedded technology, actually that could happen. And even, Black Mirror, they have the entertainment with just the contact lens, then it's instead of the VR goggle, and then you can play games. So definitely, I'm betting on the embedded technology.
Well, I'm from a different angle. I'm from a bank, so let me show you some number. Okay. So there are actually 1.2 billion people identified as disabled. And I'm sure that the actual number is higher because look at the number in Asia, they are severely under-recorded. Because there's no way that we have like this big of a number of difference. But the second number I want to show is actually more relevant. Based on the United Nations number, by 2030, globally in the developed country, there will be over 1 billion people over 65 years old. And by 2050, 1 of 6 people in the world are actually at the age of 65. That means people currently are relying on all the digital touch point will be still using them when they're old. That means that all the accessibility feature like font enlargement, color contrast, those become essential. Because if they can't use it, they will just use another app or another platform. So that's why I do think the future is, even in terms of legislation, in US already have like American Accessibility Act. In Europe, in 2025, there will be a European Accessibility Act also. That means that if you want to do e-business in Europe, you need to make sure that your platform is accessible. So I think, all the way, accessibility is the future.
Yeah, I still remember being fascinated by the UI in Minority Report with Tom Cruise. That's directed by Steven Spielberg. So, well, we all know that technology is changing rapidly and accelerating, but there's something eternal I'd like to ask you as a rounding up question. That's how do you find purpose and meaning in your work?
Okay, talking about purpose, a bit difficult to answer. I would like to share another example, as you can see. This is an IoT solver I designed. And in our general perceptions that we always think a sofa is a piece of furniture to comfort our body, to offer relaxation to us. But I think it can be more than that. With the current technology, why don't we make it not only comfort our body, but also our mind? So very simple, we just incorporate an ambient lighting system on the sofa. And it can be controlled, the lighting patterns, the tempo, and the lighting, what color of light can totally be controlled by who is sitting on the sofa. And also it was built in with a audio system. So the user sitting on that can also play the music from their mobile devices. And so I just want to create a personal comfort zone for people to relax, to unwind, not only the body's the stressfulness, and also to relax in their mind after the very stressful daily life. And yeah, to cope with we have a storage for the mobile devices and for charger, so you can just leave your devices there being charged while listening to the music. And also with the sound system, as I mentioned. So what I'm still doing and what I'm enjoying doing what I'm designing is we can always find a new value and finding new solutions for any kind of things, from our design thinking and so on. So let's see if I can have this video, okay? This is it. Okay, the sound's gone, okay. Okay, it can also be taken as elaboration of what the speaker is talking about. So in this video clips, I've used AI to generate the background music. And also the gentleman sitting there was generated by Midjourney. So we can really involve a lot of new possibilities to save money and save time to create the same thing that we would have to spend a lot of money on that. So finding new possibilities is always the fun that I'm doing when I'm doing my job. Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's nice. I want one. I'll call you later.
All right, okay.
So to answer your questions, what I do part-time as a waiter. Okay, so last week I was actually doing volunteer work at the elders' home. This is a company, a social enterprise called Project Futurist. I'm not associated with them, but I really like the design. During COVID, they were bringing dim sum experience to elders' home, right? For what we do is actually we were not only having the decor as a restaurant, they were actually bringing dim sums to that. They also designed the soft meals for elders who has problem with eating. So imagine that. This is real entertainment, especially they were talking about entertainment. So I would like to challenge everybody to think about how can we bring digital entertainment to make social impact. That is my passion.
All right, so basically, we want to build a better world through accessibility. So I think one of the passion is like we don't want this to be a trade secret. It's actually something that we want to share. That's why we're actually offering free courses to the world. So if you're interested, you can go to the website and then see the details. But you can sign up, and HSBC is actually offering free digital accessibility courses for everyone because we truly believe accessibility is for everyone, and we want to build a better world where we left it.
So thank you, Roy, Amy, and Robert for sharing your insights. And I'm sure we're all truly been inspired by the possibilities in the future in design and technology. And last, Roy and Amy are also in HKDA, and we support our homegrown designers to create value across business sectors and countries. And in our mission to empower creators, we are organizing an all-new design and technology program for Art Tech, and partnering with Great Hong Kong, Cyberport, and Sandbox to accelerate the integration of transformative technologies and platforms like generative AI and metaverse into creators' works. So we'll be inviting promising creators for a series of classes, then conference, contests, and exhibitions. Stay tuned for our applications, and thank you everyone, and enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Clement, and our panelists for a wonderful and insightful sharing. Thank you very much.